Hello, this is Brian Whitbread, and this presentation is about the application of different learning theories when instructing polygenerational learners. We as instructors have been taught, trained, and exposed to a variety of learning theories depending on which generation we came from and our educational and instructional training was focused on. We have to ask ourselves several questions. Are we modeling the theories taught to us? Or are we caught up in a theoretical vortex? Are we adapting to the new technologies that are presented to us in this digital age? And most of all, are we utilizing the vast experiences of the modern adult learner? Now, there's been an evolution of different learning theories over time, depending what generation and you've been exposed to. As instructors, we've been trained in a number of different paradigms. Maybe we haven't been instructed in any of them at all. Maybe perhaps our teaching paradigm is more technical in its approach. But nevertheless, you should have a foundation or a background, and it normally will consist of one of these more foundational learning paradigms. There's also other spin-offs. There's other learning theories that have developed, particularly in the newer generations. Whatever your learning theory is that you want to employ, it's employed into your pedagogy, which I believe is the method and science of teaching. It could be one particular learning theory. It could be several. Regardless, you've got several challenges as a modern-day teacher instructor. No one theory really holds the key to learner success. Instructors in the digital age are faced with new challenges with a polygenerational composite of learners and advancing technologies. Learners are also faced with challenges in the digital age with technologies and life experiences. We're finding more learners are coming from more diverse backgrounds, learning experiences, cultures, languages, ages. A relatively new concept in your learning theories is called the 21st century skills model. And the emphasis is placed on skills necessary for students to master new technologies in a digital age. Emphasis is placed on digital literacy, traditional literacy, content knowledge, media literacy, and learning motivational skills. What I thought was interesting was this concept here of employing your traditional literacy and content knowledge. So traditional education is still valued in this new model. Regardless of the learning theory and the pedagogy you employ, in our new teaching paradigm, you have to be, particularly in an adult learning concept, you have to be cognizant of andragogy, which is the method and practice of teaching adult learners in adult education. Let's go back several thousand years to Confucius. And Confucius basically said, when he was talking about learning, and his philosophy on learning was, I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, I do, I understand. And this RITEM concept that I'm going to introduce is a compilation of the learning theories that I just previously mentioned. The R, it's an acronym. The R stands for relevancy. The I stands for involvement, the D stands for development, the E stands for experience, and the M stands for modeling. And the RITEM concept is an experience-based approach to adult learning, and it was devised by Jim Frazier, who was a consultant for the California Police Officer Standard and Training, and he ended up developing the Master Development and Instructor Program. And his premise is that learners should be actively involved as partners in the learning process. It's a blended approach using past and contemporary learning theory. And a strong emphasis is placed on an individual's life experience, their life learning experience, and their networking. The R stands for relevance. And in this context, we're talking about it's critical that the learner receives material that will be useful to them and meet their needs. While learning a concept is acceptable, learning to apply that concept in a realistic setting and understanding the ramification of that application should be your number one goal. Involvement. You want to eliminate the passive learner concept, also the teacher-centered concept. You want to make the learner an active participant in the learning process. You want to develop or present issues by challenging, growing, and sharing. The D stands for discovery, and it's the most powerful and underused element in the traditional learning environment. This is when learners come together or a learner discovers something on their own. It's your aha moment, the epiphany. And this is the moment that's going to stick with the learner throughout life versus trying to regurgitate a bunch of material. E stands for experience, and the learner experience counts. Here in our new digital age, we're faced with the challenge of having a diverse background of students and experience levels. Now we're experiencing adult learners who have been military veterans that have fought in drawn out wars, and they have got experience from leadership and other technical aspects that the military presented to them. You still have the younger students, your typical traditional student that has graduated from high school and entered college. So you're talking about 18 to 23 years old. What do they bring to the table? Well, they probably bring a vast array of knowledge with new ideas, obviously, but also new technologies that they've mastered. You also have, or in contrast, you have the older generation of learner that maybe didn't go to school right out of high school and went off and either went into the military, developed a career, got married, had a family, and for whatever reason they've returned to school, but they have a vast life experience that should be utilized and help the other students in the class. And then finally you have modeling, and this is where you're getting all the learners to come together, to network, to share, to interact. You move from thinking you know the right answer to ensure you know the right answer, or basically where you can find the right answer. So you want to model this type of behavior by networking and utilizing the number of adult learners to come together collectively. And so in conclusion, I want to say that not one single theory holds the key to learner success. I think in the digital age, we have to incorporate a vast array of different learning theories and techniques. I think if you keep it relatively simple in that approach, but use a more learner-centered approach, then you're going to be a more effective instructor. Thank you.